Hey folks, I wanted to jump on here really quick and just make a short video for you going over the literary criticism essay. All of this is information that you have access to both in the assignment instructions, and you can download this instruction sheet right here. But just in case it helps you to hear it out loud. So for this essay, you're going to pick one of the short stories or literary pieces that we read in class to analyze. And then choose 4 or 5 of the literary devices used in that piece to analyze how they worked in the chosen piece. So you can talk about plot, you can talk about setting, theme, character, mood, symbolism, conflict, imagery, dialogue, allegory, irony, and this is not an exhaustive list. And then once you've picked the pieces that you have chosen, explain how the author uses those literary devices to share their theme or their message. And then choose literary devices based on how important they are in the particular piece that you are choosing. If you don't want to do a short story, if you want to do one of the poems that we read, you can do that as well. And then, of course, you're going to be required to support your interpretation and analysis with research. And then the other element of this assignment is to incorporate elements of the author's biography into this essay and just explain how their history affected their writing. So for the organization of this essay, I'm going to ask that you just give me some key background information on the story and where it fits into the canon of the author's work. Give me any historical details concerning the author or the circumstances around the story's creation, and keep those in your intro or your conclusion. And then you need to give me a thesis. Your thesis should indicate which elements of the story you're going to analyze and what's going to be gained through such analysis. Please go ahead and underline that thesis for me. In the body of your essay, please identify where, how, and to what effect your chosen literary devices work in the story. Please use quotes from the story, and you can also paraphrase and use outside sources to root your essay in textual analysis. Basically, what this means is here's what the author says, here's what the author is doing with these words, and here's an example from another piece of literary criticism or analysis or evaluation of this work that supports my ideas. Organize the body so that your analysis builds on each previous paragraph. Give us the basics first and then end on whichever element you feel is sort of the culmination or the unifying element of all the rest. And then in your conclusion, you're going to restate your thesis and tell your reader any new understandings that you have about the literary devices and themes that you explored in this short story. And then please also share with us what should we take with us about that short story, and have you uncovered anything in the short story that is worth remembering. Okay, the next little section that I have here on this instruction sheet is just an essay requirement checklist. So you can go through and make sure that you've done all of these things so that your essay meets all of the requirements. I highly suggest you print this paper out and then just use it like a checklist, right? Go through. Did I include biographical information about my author? Check. Do I have an underlined thesis? Check. Is each body paragraph about a literary device used in the short story or poem? Check. Does my conclusion examine new understandings of the pieces of literature? Check. Do I use 4 academic sources in addition to my primary source? Check. And is my essay at least 4 pages of text? If you have done all of these things and completed the requirements of the assignment, then that makes you much more likely to get a good grade on this assignment. And then the last thing that I have up here for you is just the requirements. So this does need to be written in MLA format. You do need in-text citations and a works cited page. This essay is a 4-page essay plus a works cited page, 4 pages is the minimum. If it's less than 4 pages, you will lose points. If you go over 4 pages, that's fine. It's just at least 4 pages. And then, of course, you will also need that works cited page, which will be on a separate page. Just like all MLA format papers, we're talking typed, double-spaced, 12-point font, and then Times or Times New Roman or a similar font. And then the last requirement up here is 4 academic sources in addition to your primary source. So obviously, since you have to talk about the biography of the author, some of those might be biographical, and then the rest should be literary criticism or analysis from academic sources. So this means no grade saver or anything like that. You want them to come from quality sources. If you have a question about a source, just let me know and I can help you identify whether or not it's academic. If you're struggling to find sources, let me know that as well, and I will see what I can do to help you out with that. The way MLA works with their works cited page is if you have a citation in your paper, then it is on your works cited page. And if it is on your works cited page, it is quoted in your paper or paraphrased or cited in some way. So please don't just put wonderful sources on your works cited page and then neglect to cite them in your essay. It needs to be 4 sources quoted in your essay and 4 sources on your works cited page in addition to your primary source, which is of course the short story or the poem or literary piece that you are writing about. If you need to use more than 4 sources, that is totally fine. These are just the minimums up here. And of course, if you have any questions on this assignment, feel free to let me know. I am always happy to help.